Good morning. We would like to remind you that Beer for Breakfast morning show is purely entertainment. If you have any mental health issues, let me tell you about our friend Joan. Joan Kaler is a holistic professional counselor and consultant since 1994. And she's been exactly where you are now. Until age 39, she struggled to find her purpose and to know her self-worth. She suffered from a condition called trichotillomania, or hair pulling. But when she volunteered with Trichotillomania Learning Center Foundation for Body-Focused Repetitive Behaviors and International OCD Foundation, she discovered the innovative tools to stop pulling her hair and to change her life. If you're feeling lost, alone, and maybe helpless, Joan remember that place. And she knows there is a pathway to healing the pain. It's time to end the cycle of stress, anxiety, hopelessness, grief, or trauma. Even if you've told yourself it's impossible, contact Joan today. Her link and information for contacting her is in the show description.
Drinking in the AM's a sin. Old Cracker's just hanging with his old friend. Beer for breakfast, what I said. Beer for breakfast, make it two. Pop that top, pop that top, pop that top again. Pop that top, pop that top, pop that top again.
Every morning at 7:10, the late Placid legends at it again. Tim's the guy with tools in hand, Ryan hunts gators in the Florida land. Beer for breakfast is the show to see. Tim's the fixer, Ron's got the spree, and Toni's the magic, Ron's better half. Keeps the wheels turning in as the class. From the swamps of Florida to the Mechanics Bay, Ron's got the stories, Tim leads the way. But behind the scenes where the magic begins, Tony's booking sponsors and reeling them in. Beer for breakfast is the show to see. Tim's the fixer, Ron's got the spree, and Tony's the magic, Ron's better half. Keeps the wheels turning in as the class. From the swamps of Florida to the Mechanics Bay, Ron's got the stories, Tim leads the way. But behind the scenes where the magic begins, Tony's booking sponsors and reeling them in. Beer for breakfast, it's the show to see. Tim's the fixer, Ron's got the spree, and Tony's the magic, Ron's better half. Keeps the wheels turning in as the class. Tim's the legend up in Placid town, fixing engines while the jokes go around. Ron's out wrangling the gators at night, while Tony keeps the show running tight. They're the morning crew that gets it done, with Florida sun and a little fun. Tony, Ron, and Tim, your team of three. It's beer for breakfast, the place to be. Beer for breakfast, it's the show to see. Tim's the fixer, Ron's got the spree, and Tony's the magic, Ron's better half. Keeps the wheels turning in as the Every weekday morning at 7:10. Join Tim, Ron, and Toni, Florida's ultimate dream team on Beer for Breakfast.
Beer for Breakfast Morning Show is brought to you by Ground Up Remodeling. Tim will take care of your needs from the ground up. Truly one of the best in Lake Placid, and we wouldn't let anyone else work on our handyman or home improvement needs. Call Tim today.
Everybody, welcome to the Beer for Breakfast Morning Show with the Lake Placid legend, Toolman Tim, and me, the obscure Ron, and I like to keep it that way. We're coming to you live and local from the Obscure Destinations Studios in Lake Placid, Florida.
Come and get it!
No, not that Lake Placid. Stick around, have fun, laugh while you can, and remember to like and subscribe and tell your friends about us. Good morning, everybody.
Hey, we got it.
We got it. We're up there. The mic's working. We're awake-ish, and the squirrels are out in abundance.
We're on take two.
We're on take two today. That's not too bad. I was up most of the night, as always, working on getting the show ready. And you would be hard. It's amazing that I actually do any show prep at all, because you can't tell it by our content most of the time. Because I get all these plans that we're going to talk about this and this and this, and then we end up talking about it. Did you see that picture that I sent you yesterday or not?
It never came through. I looked and looked and looked.
Oh, man, you got to see that.
Oh, speaking of pictures, on the news this morning, this picture is called 52 by 52 is the name of the picture.
Mm-hmm.
It's a square, 52 inches square, obviously, and it's just white. Going to sell for $1 million. This artist is dead, and he has sold these paintings in the past for over $10 million. A stupid square.
That's money laundering. I'm telling you.
That's
all
crazy.
of that crap is simple money laundering. These rich people.
Oh, here's some laundry.
The rich people have to find ways to launder their money, and art's the easiest way, because
right, you don't have to pay.
You don't know how much it's worth. You don't know how much it's worth. If I say that my art that I drew yesterday is worth $10 million, then if some dummy's dumb enough to buy it, then I'm way.
Then it's worth it. If I give you $5, it's worth $5 million.
Or the $5. I remember when I would airbrush shirts for people as like a summer job in Daytona when I was kind of on the weekends going up there. You can make $400 or $500 on a weekend
just making shirts.
Just airbrushing shirts. And
the nice thing with airbrush, it's not like that stick-on picture. It'll fall off after a year.
Right. It'll stay forever if you take care of your shit.
Right. Don't they say wash them inside out?
They do.
And don't dry them.
I used Aquaflow, which is a special kind of paint, and
holds up better.
It works great on cars because I did hoods. I charged back then even. I want to say somewhere around $500 a hood, $600 a hood to do a hood.
That's reasonable.
Back then, yeah, you wouldn't get it done like that for now.
Well, you saw my fancy Hot Rod magazine car.
Yeah.
I spent $2,000 just on hand pinstriping on that.
And
they screwed it up and it crackled when they cleared it.
It still look better that way.
And they were going to sand it all off, and I got looking at it, and I'm going, no. Don't you dare sand that off. I says, you can only see it's crackled when you get up close. It's kind of like the idea of a ghost flame.
Oh, yeah.
You only realize it when you're on it. And I says, who the hell else could make a pinstripe crackle? I says, we did it by mistake, but I think it's cool.
You'd never do it.
Never do it twice.
Naturally, right.
Yeah, we don't know why it did it or how it did it, because he used the proper kind of paint that went along with our base clear color and our clear.
Well, my problem when I was doing hoods is the clear coat wasn't the quality that it is now.
Oh, yeah.
And it didn't take long for it to turn yellow, and then it would start chipping up. I mean, the clear coat now is high dollar. I got all these ceramic things, and I couldn't even afford the paint to put in my airbrush now. I mean, that stuff it gets high dollar. It's just crazy how prices and everything went up. This foam is really starting to piss me off.
I had to shut mine off.
It might be dead. I might have. See, I leave it in here at night sometimes like a dumbass.
You gotta just put a charger in here.
I can't. I ought to do a lot of things. But
that would be better looking and smarter, right?
yeah. Well, you know, I don't know, man. I figure I made it this far with this face, and I ain't hurt nobody with it that I know. Hurt some hands with it. I've hurt some hands with my face.
Yeah,
and you broke a hammer with your forehead, so there you go.
Your face must hurt because it's killing me. No dad joke.
No, but the dad jokes are the best. I like the dad jokes. The fun never ends. It's still cold outside, but they say we might be able to go back to our outdoor environs in the morning. We don't have this crazy ass echo, but my office is echoing. And obviously.
That's because there's not much in here.
Right, and I like it that way.
Yeah.
It's just that way when I do want to start doing, like if I want to do some gun cleaning or something like that. And I like to take them apart and put them back together. That's just some anal thing that I have.
Well, they teach you that in the military.
But I know how everything works, right?
So you do it blindfolded?
Most of the time. On the M16 I could.
Really?
It's very simple.
Those guns, you're supposed to be able to drop them in the fucking mud and ice and water and pull them up and shoot them.
No, that's the AK-47.
Oh, AKs?
Yeah, a real AK-47. You can bury that shit in mud and come back 5 years later, thaw it out, knock the dirt out of the barrel and fire that bitch.
The Russians had a really good rifle, didn't they?
Yeah, the Russians were good at it. And I don't really know that the Russians actually made it. I need to get politically criminal on here, Sean, who can tell me. He knows the inner workings of who makes the guns. I just know how to use them really well. I never, I'm not. Everyone says you must be a hell of a gun guy. I'm like, I'm not a gun guy. I like guns, but I buy what I need.
Need what you buy.
And like some people, like every month they buy the same supply of beer or the same supply of dog food or something like that. I buy the same amount of ammo every month. I don't care if I didn't shoot anything in the last 2 years. Every month I get a box. Every month.
Well, it's good to have backups.
Because you don't know, man. Sometimes you can't get. Look,
you may not go to the war may come to you.
That's exactly right. And
I got cases of shotgun slugs in the closet. I could fight off the neighborhood and half the cops for like probably 2 weeks straight by myself.
I probably could too, but I just not really. I don't really have any guns, and I don't really have any ammunition. That's just guy talk. This show is purely for entertainment. I love when people say,
"Are you entertained?
Are you entertained?" What is that from? That's funny.
That's some movie, I think.
Are you entertained? Yeah, we hope to. We hope to make you laugh and giggle. And
I like that one mob movie. He goes, "You think I'm funny?
Oh,
how am I funny to you? I make you laugh
like a clown? Then he shoots him in the foot. That was the movie.
By the way, get me a drink.
that was a movie about Henry Hill.
Yeah.
Goodfellas. Yeah, that was Joe Pesci. Yeah.
Yeah, Pesci's a nut.
And the first time I'd ever heard of him was in the Lethal Weapon movies with.
Oh yeah, he was good.
Mel Gibson. My wife had a crush on Mel Gibson, so I bet we've seen all the Lethal Weapons 100 times.
Oh, I had a crush on Mel Gibson.
I liked him in Mad Max, man. In the original Mad Max.
I never got into that movie. It's
really?
full of cars and crazy shit, but it really never tripped my trigger. I'll watch it.
I like it.
But it's not like how I'll watch Caddyshack 35 times.
Yeah, well, see, and with me, it's Smokey and the Bandit. I can recite Smokey and the Bandit from the beginning to the end. I can do the same thing pretty much with Convoy. But you know what's got me hooked and has had me hooked for at least 15 years is Old Brother, Where Art Thou?
Oh, yeah.
Because as you know from yesterday, we have this fascination with bluegrass music. One of the only things that will get me out of our house on the weekends is if there's a bluegrass festival somewhere within 100 miles, we'll go to that.
There is one somewhere around here once a year.
We'll go to that a lot of times. Hell, we've gone all the way to
I think
Franklin,
there's something in Sebring.
Franklin, North Carolina to watch an outdoor bluegrass show.
Does this tell us we're live?
No, we better be live. People are watching.
Yeah, it does.
We'll never know because no one types anything in the comments. That's the problem with everybody watching on cell phones.
I got a picture. Oh, a new picture of my grandson.
Oh, check your messages to see if you got my thing that I sent you.
He's a good-looking kid.
Yeah, for having your blood in it, you know.
You know it. My son looks a lot like me too. That's the
Poor
scary
guy.
part.
My son looked a lot like me too. He even had the big nose and the whole deal.
You sent me a picture of your dog wearing a t-shirt.
No, look, it's not a t-shirt. Play it.
It's this thing one.
Well, it's his. Yeah, it's his t-shirt though. Look at the t-shirt. We got you a drinking eye dog because it's the thing one. It's a dog jacket. You know, like your shirt. It says drunk one.
Yeah.
That was his thing one on it. So I told Toni we gotta get a video of it yesterday, and
I like how you tell him to smile and he never.
Yeah, he doesn't move. He
never even moves.
He does not like the cell. He doesn't like anything like a camera. I think that these kids that live behind us in Clewiston, well, they didn't live behind it. Their grandmama let them over. She called them bad kids. She said they were bad kids, but they were her grandsons. And I called him once, shooting him with a BB gun. That didn't go over well.
That didn't shoot back.
That didn't go over well because I walked out there with a double barrel, side by side, and I called her and I said, "Look, let him shoot my dog one more time, and everybody's going to either hell or prison because this is not going to work." But ever since then, you couldn't point a camera at him or anything.
Huh.
And that's the way he was. That's why he didn't move. He's frozen. He's like, you'd think he was stuffed. He wasn't moving. He's like, oh shit, here we go.
Same thing with electric lines.
Oh, that's my fault. But all you got to do, you don't even have to hook up electric wire for him anymore. All you got to do is just lay an electric cord.
Lay the cord down.
Just lay that orange cord. You want him to stop going and using the bathroom in your yard? Lay a cord down there. But he enjoys going to your yard so much, he might decide to stay.
Well, he's getting closer and closer to coming up to visit the cat.
Well, that's because he's
just scoping it out.
Morris was here last night again. And yeah, so we made him.
He wants to get get inside.
He likes to get we don't let him in. Sometimes he runs in, but we stop him. But last night we made him leftover, a little bit of leftover dressing, turkey, and saffron rice, all mixed together with milk. And he was happy. He likes to eat. You know, you got to take care of your little cat, man. Here's what
in the news today.
In the news today, baby, it's cold outside. What do low temperatures mean for our invasive python in Florida? Nothing.
You got to do that better. You got to. Baby, it's cold.
Not me, brother. Not me. Now, especially now I got a cold and my voice sucks anyway. It says it's been downright chilly across Florida, and with another cold front due to arrive, oh Lord. Frosty temperatures are expected to continue this week. Well, I'm going to tell you, the pythons are just going to go deep. They're going to go in the ground, and that's what they're going to do. But what you better watch out for is the fallen iguanas. Now, I will be better prepared tomorrow, and I will post my recipe on stir-fried iguanas. It's on my YouTube channel.
There's really a thing?
Yeah.
We'll eat frog legs. What's the difference?
Well, the frog legs are delicious.
Rumor has it.
No, Toni will fight you for them.
He won't fight long. But she can have it. I'll cover him in grits and freaking all them other roots and fucking nutty berries you like.
I got a cold. You can't make me laugh like this.
You belong in California, all the nutty berries.
No, man. Look, I eat collard greens and turnip greens mixed. I eat collards and mustards mixed.
How about with bacon?
Oh, well, I put ham hock in there. There's always pig, and everything that I eat that's got a vegetable in it, it comes with some form of pig is in it. But geez, it's cold. But I like grits, collard greens, turnip greens, and mustard greens. I can mix all three of them together. I don't care. And see, I'm not like a lot of people. I can eat them separate. A lot of people say, well, this one's too strong and that one. Hey, man, I can go right now, and I have gone to the Winn-Dixie and just bought a big old turnip root. They're about the size of a softball.
Yeah.
I'll have that thing ate before I get home. I'll take my pocket knife out and peel it and eat it right there. Toni, too.
You strip it off like you do lettuce. You take the outside leaves off.
Oh, no, it's a root. It just grows in the ground. Like
eat the whole thing right from the neck down.
What you can do is if you grow greens, not that you would, you don't pull them, you just keep cutting the tops and they'll keep coming back until they just die out.
Huh.
And
kind of like the bulbs of these
Caladiums.
Caladiums. They're seasonal.
Yeah.
They come back.
Not a whole lot of them like that. Yeah. But the turnips are the only ones that root in the green family. And so sometimes they'll get the size of one of the old fashioned hamburgers, big old guy.
Oh, back when they made a hamburger.
Yeah, big. They're big. We used to pull them and throw them at each other because they'd get worms in them sometimes. You'd pull one up to want to eat it as a kid. It'd be about the size of your fist, and there'd be a wormhole in it or an ant that dug in there. You'll sit it to the side. And we'd grab a good one and eat the good one. Before it was over, we'd have 10 or 11 of them. And whichever one came out of their house first got it. I mean,
snowball fight.
It's really, except for this thing weighed about 2 pounds. It was like throwing a cue ball at somebody.
Redneck snowball fight.
It was, yeah. And we did it with beets too, because one year my dad grew beets. I think he was making booze with those. I don't really know.
No, I like beets.
I like beets too. I like them pickled.
Yeah, I like
Toni
them
likes
pickled. I
pickled
like
beets.
them candied. I like them cooked.
You have any idea? There are so many different kinds of beets. There are probably like 100 different.
Michael Jackson liked it too. He made a whole song. Beat it.
No. Because you got me with the mouse yesterday, so I'm thinking, well, maybe he did write a song about. Maybe he did. Hell, I don't know. But no, it's I just like it. I like good. I make cornbread. I make 2 kinds of cornbread. Well, actually, I make 3 kinds. I make regular cornbread. Then I make a sweet cake cornbread with cake flour and cornmeal. And then I also make crackling cornbread, but the cracklings are just pig skin. And I soak them in water overnight, get them soft.
Oh, those snack ones
No, these aren't. No, those are the ones before they fry them. Yeah. They're called cracklings.
Yeah.
They're real tight, and you can drop them in hot oil and make yourself your own little cracker. Yeah, but I make crackling cornbread too. But then lately, well, I say lately, for the last 20 years or more, she likes. Toni puts jalapenos on everything. She'll put it in her eggs in the morning. Jalapenos and everything. So I started adding a little bit of tomato and basically making a salsa cornbread. And that, for when you have chili, that's dynamite.
Oh yeah, that would go.
Yeah, because it's got it just goes with it and blends. But my weakness is rice. I like rice and gravy. I'll eat it. If she would let me, she wouldn't have to cook nothing else.
I like brown rice too?
Yeah, I like any kind of rice. I don't really care what kind of rice it is. And now you usually can go buy saffron rice in the store. If you look close, it's not saffron anymore. They're using turmeric to turn it yet. You're about to Robert, that Kennedy guy is about to. He's going to throw a kibosh in everything because in other countries they don't get the same poisons in their food that we get in ours with all these food dyes and shit.
Right.
Well, they're about to have to stop that if everything goes as planned because our food's killing us. But one of my friends that's an avid hunter.
That's why we send food to other countries.
Right.
It's humanitarian aid. Let's kill them off the easy way. Feed them.
Let's kill them off like we do the Americans.
Send them a McDonald's franchise.
A friend of mine said,
cholesterol.
A friend of mine said, you never hear of a deer getting recalled by the government. And I said, well, that's because they didn't inspect it, dude. You don't know what the hell you're eating in that deer. You don't know what that deer was.
That's true.
You don't know what that deer's got. Everybody, when you're out hunting hogs and shit, you better be careful. And
there ain't no USDA inspector checking out your bullet.
And not that you can trust the USDA anyway, but no.
Most of the things I shot died from lead poisoning.
Rabbits are notorious. The rabbits are real. If they're homegrown or whatever, I think your chances are less likely of getting sick. But rabbits are real bad to eat. And Toni loves it. Toni could be a caveman tomorrow. She's like, fire, don't need fire. Give me bloody meat. She's crazy, man. She's got that.
The fire to keep her warm. That's cooker meat.
Hey man, if I could afford it, she'd be on that carnivore diet, eating nothing but steaks and bacon all day long. That's
not a bad way to die of cholesterol.
And now they're saying that's not the cholesterol that gets you.
That's the good cholesterol, I guess.
I guess there's until this
It's all
month.
the
This month,
freaking oils and garbage and deep frying bullshit. That's bad kind.
this month, trans fats are bad for you. Next month, it depends on who pays the politicians. Next month, it'll be good for you.
Well, remember a bunch of years back, they were saying eggs. Oh, eggs are going to kill you. Eggs are going to kill you. Now they tell you to eat them again. It's like, make up my mind.
Well, you remember when Oprah said,
Whole milk, kill you. Nope. Drink 2%. Okay.
well, look at margarine. Margarine is literally 2 chemicals away from paint.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's like wax with taste.
So you figure you're eating all this fitness crap in you. I try not to eat. I try not to fry anything. I don't fry hardly any. I don't even keep frying oil here. I used to keep peanut oil around, but we fry such little now. And Toni only gets real butter. This grass-fed cow butter. And if I want to fry something, I fry that, or I'll save beef fat because I really like to cook with beef fat. It changes the game.
Oh yeah, it gives it different flavor.
Yeah, it changes the game. It cooks hotter, smokes less.
Well,
and
natural.
Yeah,
it's not some chemical produced bullshit.
And like I say, all these canola oils and all that was done for equipment. I knew guys that would take the
lube your chain and put it in the fry pan afterwards.
They would clean their guns with all that stuff. With that stuff. I always had gun oil, but they said no, this works better than gun oil. I'm like, all right, well look,
oil as well is protecting it. That's all that oil does.
Yeah,
keeps the chemicals off your hands, the essence out of your hands off the barrel.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I never was one of those pretty boy gun guys. I just was always the
functional gun.
Yeah, I just want it to work. I want to be able to know I can depend on it.
Doesn't have to have fancy engravings and all that.
Right? Yeah, I'm not interested in all that.
It doesn't fire any better because it costs 3 times more.
Yeah, and I don't. I mean, you can get crap guns, and there's a lot of guns out there floating around now that are crap. And I don't. Look, I know that I have several guns that use clips.
Okay.
Or magazines or whatever the frig people want to call them. But I don't like them because there's always a chance of jamming. My 357, she ain't jamming.
Never jammed once.
And if I got 6 shots to get you, and if I miss, that thing weighs 18 pounds.
I'll throw some big shit.
No, one way or another, I'm gonna win that one. But I don't mess around with guns like that too much. And like I say, I got a lot of friends that love them, but it's not my thing. I just know how to use them if I have to. But that's like fishing. I know how to do it, but I don't want to.
Yeah, you don't need an $800 fishing pole to go fishing.
I damn sure, and I don't need a $55,000 bass boat. However,
if you got one, we can borrow. Those new outriggers they have now look like praying mantis claws that come out and hold
the power poles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those things are cool, but boy, are they expensive.
Yes, they are, boy. They're proud of those power poles.
Yeah, I've seen boats with 3 of them, 1 for front, 2 in the back.
I've seen little John boats with them.
Yeah.
They paid 10 times more for those power poles
than they did
the boat.
And the fishing gear.
And I'm like, dude, I can sit on a bank and catch. Me and Toni caught so many shrimp throwing that casting that year. And we just caught them and pulled them and caught them. We were cooking them right there. I mean, bam, we're pulling them out of the water, and 5 minutes later, we're eating them bitches. I mean,
that's fresh as you're going to get.
We were the same way. We catch a catfish that morning and go eat it right there. And I live right here, and it gripes my ass that I won't go out there and do it. But I got to the point where I don't like to kill things, and so I don't want to have to kill the fish and to clean it.
Yeah, but it's killing something and hunting for food is different.
Yeah, I know, but it's still,
I mean, I'll shoot anything they want to eat. Like my grandfather was an avid rabbit hunter. We had this great beagle that was a super good rabbit dog. And we'd go out on the weekends, him and I, and we'd shoot up some rabbits, and he liked it. My grandmother, he made it all the time. Well, when I got old enough to be on my own and married and everything, I decided to relive my youth and go rabbit hunting. So I go out, and lo and behold, I see a rabbit. right in my back 40, and I whacked the rabbit, took it back down the house, cleaned it all, cooked it up, didn't care for it. Not that I knew how to cook it.
Right.
So I decided I'm not going to kill rabbits just to kill them because they're not hurting nothing. I don't care if they eat my neighbor's garden.
Right. No kidding.
Keeps the weeds down.
Yeah, there's this thing called the arcade theory that I'm going to try to get into on one of my night streams because
Is that where you chase a bunch of little unwanted kids across the backyard and start shooting in a row?
no,
And they duck and tip and bob and weave.
no, it's the arcade theory. You've got breeders, and then you've got people, not people, but people and animals that aren't. Like rabbits, they don't care. They eat grass. So they don't really care. They breed so much that they don't care if half of their brood gets killed by predators.
Right. That's
I mean,
just circle of life kind of thing.
You watch the turtles; they come up here and lay eggs all over my yard, and then go.
They'll leave 10,000 eggs along the ocean with those ocean turtles,
And they don't
about
care.
a third of them survive at that.
And so that's the arcade. And then then you have people or people, not people. Then you have animals like wolves and dogs. They won't outbreed their pack. I mean,
Right.
real wolves, they won't outbreed their pack.
Right. They do what they can survive.
Right. They know that if there's too much breed, I mean, so somehow, and it's the same thing with mice. They don't care. You know, they know that there's always going to be something. But the higher evolution scale that the animals go.
Or we pick the right day to be inside.
Yeah, it's Thursday. In our town, Thursday is mow day. It can be raining. It could be, if Christmas was on a Thursday,
It could be snowing, they'll be out.
these guys, if there's snowing in Florida, they might.
We got problems if it does.
Yeah, someone posted a thing on Facebook of a snowman that they made from Crystal River, where they just scraped ice off their windshields. I'm like, man, I'm south of frost proof. That means it better not freeze down here.
Yeah, we're dead center of the state.
Yeah. So I don't want no trouble with freezing.
Miami's 2 hours south. Orlando's 2 hours north. The shore's out 45 each way.
They say that no matter where you're at in Florida, you're within 65 miles of an ocean, whether it's the Gulf or whether it's the
Right.
And I think the widest part is probably either between Tampa and the Space Coast, or in the Ocala area from the Cedar Key area over to Daytona type of stuff. Because that's where Florida kind of goes, and it gets kind of fat in the middle like me.
Right.
And it goes down.
That's why we all retarded. We're all getting old and fat.
Yeah.
Match the landscape.
Well, now they got the villages where you go to the villages, and that's where that, what do you call it? Herbacephalitis?
Yeah. Civilitis.
Yeah.
Get a little of everything.
Yeah, you go to the villages, and that's where the old folks go to play. I mean, you think, well, you know, well, my grandparents wouldn't have, because they were straight-laced people, at least I think.
Yeah.
But now these grandkids, where's mama, or where's grandma and grandpa moving? Oh, they're moving to the villages. Kid comes up looking to the village, and it says the highest STD rate in the United States. It's like crazy.
And it ain't from the meat.
Right, no, everybody's swingers there, man, and it's crazy. He's from here.
Yeah.
John Anderson's from here. He's a good singer. Yeah.
Name even sounds like it belongs here.
Yeah. Seminole Wind's a good song. Yeah. Because they've destroyed the Everglades. I mean, Army of Engineers and water management.
We had to screw with something. It was nature.
There's no reason for all the horrible shit that
I don't know why we think as human beings that we have to control everything to do with what's around us. It's like we have to make sure that the forests are just thick enough and not too thick, and they got the right kind of trees and the right kind of undergrowth, and the goddamn Everglades got to have just the right water flow.
And they've been screwed it up. And see, the Everglades were really a filter for all the water to go south.
Right.
And it filters all the way, because I'm telling you,
filter.
Yeah. And now it's so.
Now it's nature's
All
garbage
right,
can.
you go to any national forest just about in Florida, and it's not a national forest. It's not a natural forest anymore. It's all pine trees.
Right.
they cut down all the oaks and they put pine trees so that the tree growers could go in there. I mean, the sawmills could go and get the tree for saw. So, some animals ain't supposed to live on pine tree groves.
Pine cones.
I mean, sure, the squirrels love them, but there's natural habitats in these oak trees that these things can live inside of these trees. You can't do that with a pine tree.
Right.
I mean, especially if you're only going to let it grow for 15 years. So I don't know, man. And
the nice thing with them, if they're reforesting say a forest fire, burn up a bunch of land, pine trees grow real quick.
Yeah,
That's
they
why
do.
They plant them.
They do. Well, if you'll notice, they always plant them in a straight line.
Oh, of course.
And they're doing that so they can come in and saw them down.
So you can mow.
Matter of fact, I used to spend all of my time in the woods, all of it. I mean, even when I was grown.
As a kid, I did all the time.
And you could go out there and you would see that there would be an orange dot on that tree, and that meant that was coming down next. And they would just orange dot them, and you could tell. So it was a sad situation because of the way that they've destroyed everything. And I mean, there's nowhere if I wanted to go buy an ATV, a little quad, a 4-wheeler or something, there's nowhere to ride it down here anymore. Unless you want to do like that guy you talk about and do 90 up and down the street with it. I mean, it used to be you could go down by the railroad tracks and ride, and there would always be some wooded area close enough to you, especially here in Florida.
Right.
I mean, we're not talking New York City, we're talking Florida. Now, we're lucky here in Highlands County that we do have a lot of country stuff. But look at it, it's all stopped by the government.
Yeah.
I tell Toni, maybe it's a hunt club, but it's clearly not because the fences aren't high enough.
Right.
Which I'm against those hunt clubs too. I don't like trophy hunters.
Yeah, those hunts that you see on the hunting shows where they take this rich guy, give him a $10,000 rifle, stick him in the woods, set him in a good spot.
And he shoots a lot.
That's called can hunting.
Yeah, that's not
My
hunting.
buddy was a big time hunter, and he was offered a free hunt because he was so good at it. And they were telling him what they would do, and they would guarantee him a 12-point buck within an hour. And he's like, how the hell can you guarantee me a 12-point buck? He said, it's
Well, it depends.
He says, we're just going to let it loose within a quarter mile of you, and you'll get him.
No, we leased a good part of our property to a hunt club back in the 80s. And what they did was they brought the animals in. There was no pens. It was fenced off, but there was no individual pens. And what came in could stay in. And if the deer wanted to get out, they could jump that fence. It wasn't a mile-high fence, but they kept them fed so that they wouldn't want to come out.
Yeah, it's just, food source.
And then so you could go and pay, I don't know, you buy a lease, you buy a lease.
So you pay a couple $100
a year.
Hunt the weekend.
You go in there and hunt the weekend. You could go in there every weekend if you wanted to. You could even take your camper. That's you, though. I mean, if you want to take your camper to a hunt club, that's you. But you could go sit in there and hunt. And if you're just going to feed your family, then that's cool. But if you're going in there looking for a 10-point buck to hang on your wall and then leave the carcass out there, I'm gonna find you if I can find you and kick your ass over there.
Yeah, I don't like that. I've seen where
That's
just
dirty.
quarters are gone.
Yeah,
I leave the rest of the deer.
I don't like that. I don't like that at all. And I'm not. I know that the bass fishermen love this catch and release thing with the fish. But once that fish is exhausted, man, in Clewiston, when they release those fish, they're alive when they're released. But you go back there, or you like me and Toni sit out there and fish. 2 or 3 hours later, you're seeing bass float up all over. It's because they've stressed them out so much.
Right.
And then
don't know how to adapt.
Then they throw them in the live well, so now they're just traumatized. And then you go weigh them. You carry them in a bag up to the weigh thing to weigh them, and then finally you let the fish. The fish is like, what do you expect him to do? He's not
wild anymore.
At that point he's already breathing the wrong crap. He's breathing other pure water that your live well is giving him. It's over oxygenated because you don't want the fish thrown up because you want to make sure that he weighs right. I don't like that kind of shit.
Well, that's again us manipulating everything around us.
Right. Well, it's like they eradicated all of Florida of flathead catfish because they were eating the bass.
Too bad.
That's nature.
Yeah.
And look, this is how I feel about the polar bears.
You're gonna get rid of lions because they eat the elk and the deer.
Well, okay, polar bears. They say we've got to save the polar bears. Well, maybe it's in God's plan that things go extinct. And these son of a bitches be trying to save dinosaurs right now.
Survival of the fittest.
You know, you sooner or later bloodlines have to run out. That's why there's no more cavemen. You know, and all of these people they don't make them anymore because those things die out. You know, they say, well, there's only one more diamond bug. Well, fine. Maybe that was the plan. Maybe they're trying to get a new diamond bug.
It's like white people. We're slowly being exterminated.
Well, we're being hated. We're being hated.
Same idea.
But
without getting too
white guys, only white guys.
Right. Much for the little girl.
You know what's weird is all of these feminists that love women and are women have now kicked the women out, and now they went to the transgender. I'm like, wait a minute.
Make up your mind.
If my daughter wants to play soccer on a girls' soccer team, and some dude goes over there, and that girl got paralyzed from that guy playing volleyball. Now I'm
girls' soccer team.
No, that was volleyball.
No.
He spiked the ball, and it was a tranny guy in a skirt or whatever. I don't know what they wear in volleyball, but he spiked the ball, hit her in the head, and paralyzed her, gave her brain damage, the whole thing. Because we're stronger by nature.
Right.
I mean,
it's not that we're saying it because we're, self-absorbed males.
No,
it's just a fact, natural fact. Now, granted, there are stronger women than me.
Sure. Oh, sure there are.
But to the most part, the male species of humans are stronger than the female.
Well, and you got to think about it.
We're built different.
Well, we are built different, and we think differently. That's why we're different.
Yeah, we make sense.
But I don't know about that because my wife pulled me out of many a jam. See, that's what it seems that.
Yeah, I'd be dead if it wasn't for my wife.
It seems to me that women are far more rational.
Oh yeah. They think things through.
Yeah, and I'm not really good at that. I look at it and say, okay, got to fix this, go fix it.
Come
back with 8 fingers.
Hold my beer, watch this.
Come back with 8 fingers trying to super glue them back on. I got it. Don't worry about that.
And duct tape.
Yeah. So if it was there's no doubt in my mind that if it wasn't for Toni, I'd be dead a long time ago.
My wife has saved me from doing insane things.
And I try to be smart and do them when she's gone. And she'll say, by the way, I'll know, It's like I had your stepladder here that time and I wanted to go cut the branches down.
She's like, what are you doing?
And she's like, don't even. She said, first of all, don't do it when I'm gone, which is when I would do it. It's like, I got to get away with it somehow, man.
I don't want witnesses.
No kidding. And here I am with broken in half, falling down. Because if there's something on the ground, I'm going to find it. My head's going to find it. If it's a rock, if it's a hammer,
right,
my head's going to find it. But I don't know why my head looks so good shaved because there's got to be booger marks all over that sumbitch somewhere.
Got a dent or two.
Yeah, dents are got dents. Man, I hit my head on the cabinet. I let nothing in. I don't like a dirty kitchen, but I'm all right if there's a couple things in the sink. But man, do not leave them cabinet doors open. That drives me up a wall.
Oh yeah, I'm just tall enough where I hit my head.
Oh man, I'm down there and one of my sweet and low package hits the floor. I was getting coffee last night or night before last, and I guess I didn't shut the door or I shut it too hard and it kind of popped open. It broke the magnet type of deal and just kind of popped back open. And I'm just like this, and I'm already half asleep, getting coffee. I stand up.
You wake when you stood up.
That shit hurt. It still hurts right there, man.
Oh yeah.
I kept feeling it. I said, well, I hope it's an Audi and not an innie, because if it was an innie, you could get brain damage, and nobody would know with me. Nobody would know.
Yeah, really. Prove it.
They're like, come on, we're never gonna know if you have brain damage. We already know that you've got brain damage.
You haven't changed a bit.
Really? He got smart.
Yeah.
Wow.
You're the only guy that has lobotomy comes out of it better off.
It comes out like, yeah, this is all right.
Like, I feel so much better.
Well, because now I don't have to make my decisions. But I don't now. I don't make my own decisions now anyway.
I don't have to worry about it.
I try to pretend that I get to decide things, but I don't get to decide things.
When I think that I'm making a good decision, I do exactly the opposite of what I think is right.
Yeah.
Because then it usually comes out the right way. If I do what I think is right, I usually get hurt, fuck something up, or hurt someone else inadvertently.
Yeah.
And because I don't think it all the way through, or I just have no common sense for safety, I just do it because I think I can.
Oh,
I'm like that little train. I think I can. I think I
yeah.
can.
and everything, I look at something and I play it out in my head, no matter what it is, man.
Mhm.
Like laying the stones, the paver stones.
Favors, yeah.
Okay, well, for instance, I built that deck in Clewiston at the house in Clewiston, and it's a beautiful big old deck. And I said, okay, I know exactly how many boards it's going to take. I already know exactly where I'm going to make my cuts. So that was no problem. I went and bought the boards and I laid them out there. And I staged them. So I sat down, I grabbed a beer, and I said, okay, this is only going to take me about 2 hours because I'm screwing them. I'm out nail. Holy shit, that was a 2-4. It was almost a week job. It was almost a week job because.
Well, it's like those doors up here at Tomato Heads.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, this is going to be cake. Take me about an hour. Day and a half later, 9 hours.
She said, are you done with the deck yet?
Well, I'm done working on it.
I said, no. I said, this is not as easy as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, they best laid plans of mice and men.
She said, the lady that owned the house said, why don't you put down some floating floors? I'll pay for them if you put them down. I said, I don't know how to do that. And
first of all, who wants them to float down? She don't hold water on.
That's why I didn't understand. I didn't understand any of it.
She's like, I want to build a pond in the living room.
So I said, okay. I said, well, I'll go and look up on YouTube. Well, you know, when they can explain it on YouTube in 5 minutes, they take 45 minutes to explain it.
Oh, it looks easy on
yeah,
TV.
Well, and what they do on YouTube, because I understand it because I have a YouTube channel, and the longer that someone watches, the better your revenues are.
Yeah.
Well, so he'll put it on there, and he can say real quick, get this tool, get this tool, get this tool, cut it up this way, see y'all next week.
Tilt it, slap it down, lock it in, tap it.
I bought a tool. I got a tool out there. It's rusted. I need a WD-40 that today, but it cuts weird. Just like that. It's got a blade.
Yeah, we call it.
Then it goes like that or something.
It's a vibrating tool, yeah.
Yeah. Well, he said you need that.
We call it zip saw.
He said you need that, so I got it. I don't know how to use it. I tried to cut a piece of rebar with it. That didn't work too well. No, that didn't work too well. So anyway, it's out there. I got the bag. It came in everything. I don't know what to do with it.
They're a great tool.
I got
to borrow one all the time because I don't have one.
Well, I'll go try to find that one and clean it up for you because I don't know what to do with it.
Well, if you want to use it, you always know where to find it.
If I knew where to find it, I'd already went out there and got it. I know it's in that closet, but there's a lot of things in that closet. There's a lot of things in that. Toni says, didn't you clean that closet out last week?
Yeah, but I put more stuff in it this week.
Like, yeah, but I found more shit. Where do you get all that stuff from? I see it. I see it.
Chicken Girl has a 20 by 12 or 20 by 14 shed in her backyard. And she decided to empty it all out, pressure wash the floor, and put everything back organized because she had to move a bunch of stuff because her adult child's moving home.
Right.
Well, she needed the extra space to get the shit out of the garage playroom to make it into a mini apartment. I could not believe the amount of crap she took out of that shed and had it in lawn. And it was like she must have put 40 pounds of shit into a 5-pound bag.
And Toni is the same way. Toni can fit everything in this little bitty thing. I go in there, but see, I want to see it. I want it to be like a glass thing. I want to go out there and look, like at the grocery store. I want to go, okay, that's my 1/4-inch screws. Bam.
Right.
I don't want to have to dig under the nails.
Yeah, Charlie's got one of those like moving totes.
Yeah.
And he keeps all his nails and screws in this. Well, for him to want to get a 3-inch screw, he might have to take 15 other boxes of shit out to get to that. And I said, how do you even know what's in there? And he says, I know what's in that box. I said, yeah, well, you're just like me in that respect. But it's like, why wouldn't you put them in a more shallow box so they're 1 box deep and just stack them? That wouldn't work for me at all. That'd be too sensible.
I have to know if I have it, I have to know where it's at.
Right.
I have to know that it's right there. I don't have to worry about it. Like if she says, however, if she says go get this, I don't usually know where it's at right away. But I haven't found her nativity scene yet, and it's almost Christmas.
You only had a year to look for it.
Well, I mean, I put it up last year. I just don't know where to put it up.
Oh, where did I put it away and I couldn't find? Oh, a little space heater.
You can't find your space heater?
In the middle of summer, I had it sitting on a table next to my chair area on the patio. And I said, well, there's no point in having this thing sitting out here collecting dust, taking up space. I'll store it in here for the summer. And I'll take a little cooling fan one that puts ice in the top, and I'll put that away for the cooler season and bring the heater out. God knows where I put that goddamn heater. I've searched all over and can't find it.
Take the cold fan and go put it up, and it's probably where you put it.
Wherever you think you want to put this, there it is.
I know the perfect place for this. Oh, there it is.
That's a good theory.
And, well, I mean, it's in the thought.
Yeah. Reverse psychology.
Yeah. It's simple how things work if you just let them work, man. I mean.
Let's call the psychologist chick and ask her if it'll work.
Yeah, really.
What's her name?
I don't know.
That's an odd name.
You know,
so I'll call her up and say, hello, is this I don't know?
No, I don't know. Let me take a minute here and find it.
Did she tell you her first name or
it's
doctor name?
No, it's Jane.
Well, that's all I need to know, Jane.
Yeah, it's Jane.
No.
It's Jane Kaler.
Oh.
This lady right here
is a holistic professional counselor and consultant since 1994. And she's been exactly where you are now. Until age 39, she struggled to find her purpose and to know her self-worth. She suffered from a condition called trichotillomania, or hair pulling. But when she volunteered with Trichotillomania Learning Center Foundation for Body-Focused Repetitive Behaviors and International OCD Foundation, she discovered the innovative tools to stop pulling her hair and to change her life. If you're feeling lost, alone, and maybe helpless, Joan remember that place. And she knows there is a pathway to healing the pain. It's time to end the cycle of stress, anxiety, hopelessness, grief, or trauma. Even if you've told yourself it's impossible, contact Joan today. Her link and information for contacting her is in the show description.
The reason that I like her so much is she does a lot of PTSD work. And a lot of my stuff is I deal with PTSD. I deal with PTSD with my people all the time. Mm-hmm. And it's rough on them. And I always say I don't have it, but everyone says, but do you have bad dreams? I'm like, if I have 2 minutes of sleep, I wake up in a cold sweat, and I always.
Hell, I had a bunch of bad dreams 2 nights ago, but of course I had a horrible tooth infection. It might have been affecting my brain.
Could have. My thing is, I wake up, I'll be having this great dream, right? Like, I'll be somewhere in an office doing something, and then I have to go pee.
For real or in the dream?
In the dream. And no matter what, I guess that's God saying you better get up and pee.
It's in your dream for real.
Because you take so many diuretics, you better get up. So anyway, and then all of a sudden, I'm in a flooded bathroom or a bathroom with a dirty floor, man. I'm telling you.
You want to piss off your wife? Piss on the floor.
I'm telling you, I don't like bathroom floors. If I go to Walmart, I will hold it until I almost can't hold it no more before I walk in that bathroom. They always stink. I don't know. I know they clean them. They mop them. I think they mop them with whatever they mop them with to make it stink so you'll get the hell out of it.
Piss water.
It's the nastiest smelling thing. Now
I'll go into the stall to take a leak because 99% of people who go in there are sitting down. Yeah. It's a lot harder to miss from that distance.
That's how you get it.
If you stand in front of the urinal, there's always a wet circle about a foot out.
I know. It's like
my dick ain't reaching a foot over that.
Like they're playing firemen.
Right. It's like I can hit them.
You know, those guys aren't married. Either that or they're married and they can't do it at home, so they go to Walmart and do it.
So watch this. Nobody to bitch at me. Ha ha ha.
when I was single, I didn't even know what a toilet brush was.
Yeah, you buy those little blue discs, throw it in the tank and call it a wheel.
All of a sudden, you know, I'd have a girlfriend coming over, and my sister would come over and go, "We got to clean this shit up. You got to like to handle it." there's wine in there, you know, in the refrigerator. Have at it. You do what you got to do, sister, because I ain't.
Say, where's your toilet brush? What's that?
What's that? Yeah, every time she
I got a snow brush.
every time she would leave, there would always be new little things just hanging out everywhere, you know.
Then you throw them away because you don't know
what am I going to do with this?
Yeah, that's taking space up. I gotta get rid of that.
This is for cleaning the tire. Wow, a special little thing to clean the tires off. That's got a holder and everything.
You're getting the rim perfectly. Actually, a toilet brush does work good on the rims. Like on our Mustang,
yeah,
they're hard to get back around behind them because they're black, shiny black, and you could see all the way to the inside because they're spaced out pretty wide, but you can't get your hand in there.
We talk about that Mustang every day. You got to get a picture of it. But
oh, I got a picture of it at Bike Week. The guy that was taking pictures for that biker magazine that everybody subscribes to, he was standing on the side of the highway, and we saw him up ahead. He had a little banner behind him that said, you know, whatever kind of bike magazine it was. And he's taking pictures of these.
Easy Rider?
Yeah. Well, he sees us coming, the top's down. And of course, we put our hand up over the windshield. We're waving at him. I gave him the peace sign. We ended up in the magazine.
Wow, no kidding?
Yeah, with our yellow Mustang in a biker magazine.
Well, yeah, but it fits.
And we also got notified by his company or whatever that if we'd like an 8x10 full color gloss, he would circle in there the number and the description on the back of each one for $24.95. You could have it.
Yeah. Was it $24.95?
Yeah.
I'd probably bought it.
Didn't come with steak knives. We got it.
Yeah, I'd probably bought it.
But it was a really good picture, and he zoomed it just right. It fills the screen that over full. It makes you know you're on the road.
Yeah.
And it is just, you could see our faces and everything. It was really cool.
Well, that part isn't so great, but you know.
I have a real cool picture where she's parked in the driveway facing in, and I'm backed in like usual.
Yeah.
And I happen to be standing over in the neighbor's side, that side. And her car reflected in the side of my black truck like a mirror.
Cool.
And I took a picture of it, and you could see her and the yellow car reflecting off the shiny black truck like it was looking in a reverse mirror.
I have the picture.
I got that picture.
I call Mercury Sunrise. I love reflection pictures. That's what I'm trying to say. I have one that I call Mercury Sunrise because it's a sunrise or a sunset on the back of Curtis. Can't remember his name. He owns Okeechobee Steakhouse. It's on Okeechobee Road in Palm Beach. Curtis, what is his last name? I don't remember, but we were there talking to him, and I said, "Hey, man, hold on for a minute, back up." And he's like, "What?" I'm like, "There's a perfect little reflection of the sunset right here on your boat. I want to get a picture of it." And I sent it to him, and I didn't think about charging him for it. I took it with
Well, we should charge him for the advertisement we just gave him. He even gave us a address.
Like, yeah, you know, I haven't seen him in 10 years, so I guess I just don't care anymore.
Oh, there's the car going through the bike week.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, that's cool. That is you.
Yeah.
Well, that's a shame.
That's a shame. Thanks.
Well, I mean, honestly, most bikers I know, you look like most bikers I know. You got that kind of been in the sun too long.
And there's the picture of the car reflecting in the truck.
That's cool. See, that's cool too. Where's she at?
She's sitting in the front.
Oh, she's sitting in the car? Yeah.
Yeah, but it makes the car look like it's been squished.
You know what? That's telling me that you see. We should have this to where we could look at it.
It's telling me I have too much time on my hands.
No, that's telling me that you clean your truck too much.
Yeah.
It is a shiny ass truck, though. I gotta give you credit.
Every morning I go over to the Moose before they're open, hang out with the bar manager, and shoot the shit, solve the world's problems. Kind of like this show without the show. And her and I would just shoot the breeze, and I'd go out there at the end of our conversation when she decided to go into work, and I'd wipe all the dew off my truck. And about once a week, she goes, "You know, you really got to stop that. You're going to wipe the paint right off of that son of a bitch."
My dad would chamois. He had a chamois, real C-cloth thing, and he would every morning before he left, he would take it and rub his truck down. Then he would go and rub Mama's car down.
Yeah.
But as much as Mama's car cost, that should have come with the.
Should have come with its own cleaning guy.
I used to say, "Are you sure that for what y'all paid for, the midget isn't gonna jump out of the trunk and take care of that for you?"
Right? You push the trunk button, little Chinaman pops out. He goes, "Oh, so very nice."
Yeah, I gotta clean that. I don't. People pay, and now I pay you the same cars that she was getting back then for $40,000. I bet they're $100,000 cars now.
Oh, probably.
I mean, you know,
A cheap Mercedes is like in the mid 60s.
and
And that's the
she was
cheap.
She was getting 300 series. she was getting.
That's the 80, 90, 100,000 model.
She didn't like that whole.
You're going big, go all the way.
Well, and the thing is, I would say, it's got to be the second ugliest car in the world next to a Volvo. You know?
I was never a Volvo.
Me either. Well, their sports cars were cool looking.
Yes.
And the Mercedes sports cars are cool looking. But, in the 80s, a Nissan Sentra, in the 87 Nissan Sentra looked just like the 87 BMW of that series.
Right.
So, I mean, people would say, that's a nice BMW. And I was like, man, I need to get still a grill off of a BMW fence. But it would still be a Nissan, so that means it'd last longer. I don't know. BMWs are pretty good cars, I hear.
They're just high, expensive maintenance.
And they always, I think, maybe you're the one that was telling me that they call you, or somebody, I was listening to somebody, and they said that they're constantly telling you that they're monitoring you the whole time that you're driving it and telling you to go get your lights adjusted or go get your tires are low or all that stuff.
The computer monitors everything in that car.
Mm-mm.
Well, my truck just told me yesterday it's time for an oil change.
Did it?
Yeah. It says, hey, dummy, get your $75 out.
It's
Half the price of a battery.
this guy goes to the doctor and he says, Doc, I got a problem. And the doctor said, what's wrong? He said, elbow's killing me. And the doctor said, well, probably just, it's just probably sprained muscle or something. He goes, no, it's bad. It's real bad. And the doctor says, well, we're over here at Shands. It's a teaching hospital. So we got this new thing. So you piss in that cup. I'm going to pour what you piss in that cup. You come back in 2 weeks, and I'll tell you exactly what's wrong with you. And the guy said, well, that sounds too space age for me, way too Elon Musk. The doctor said, trust me, I've tried it. It works. So the guy pees in the cup, and he goes back. He goes home, and he tells his wife, I don't know what's going on. The doctor said that it's going through a computer. So 2 weeks later, comes back, and the doctor says, well, you want to know what's wrong with you? And he goes, yeah. He goes, well, your wife's screwing everybody in town. Your daughter's pregnant. Your son's a homosexual. Your Audi needs an oil change, and if you don't stop jerking off, you never get rid of that tennis elbow.
I thought you were going to say, I got good news and bad news. The good news is you got 6 months to live. The bad news is it's going to cost you $800 for me to have told you this. And he says, I don't have 800. He says, when do you think you'll have it? He says, it's going to take me a year. He says, well, you got a year to live.
They told my mom, they said, well, you want us to tell you the truth about your thing? And she said, yeah. He said, well.
No, lie to me.
He said, well, at best, you got 6 months to live. And mom says, okay, so basically you're saying I got about 2 or 3 weeks. And he goes, yeah, pretty much. Because they try to give you a good hope. My mom's like, yeah. She died on July 1st. And I always said she probably died on July 1st because June 15th is my birthday. She didn't want to screw that up. And July 4th is day we all party on July 4th. She didn't want to screw that up. So she picked July 1st. She knew she had to go. And
launch it.
And dad was the same, but dad didn't last long after mama. And people always talk about how it's so amazing that married couples that have been married so long die right after each other. They have the same lifestyle, man.
Right.
They both eat the same foods. If one of them's a smoker, both of them usually a smoker. If one of them's active, the other one's usually active. If both of them are like me and Toni and lazy as shit, then we're both lazy as shit. I told my dad, said, son, sometimes you are just so lazy. I said, well, it's better than being sorry. I mean, if it needs to be done, I can get it done. A sorry person would just never do it. But he would say, he would say, "You will work harder to get out of work than you will if you would have just went there."
Yeah.
I'm just not.
I had some employees like that. They spent more time trying to avoid the job than if they would have just gone out and done it.
And it'd be that. I tell myself that all the time. I'm like, look,
just do it.
Yesterday I said, go hang the damn birdhouse. It's going to take 2 minutes. It's just 2 minutes.
Oh, do you get it done?
No. No, because then Toni.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
Yeah, Toni said, we got to talk to this lady. She says you might want to advertise and everything. And I'm like, okay. So then now my mind's set on that. And I'm trying to do, I got so much YouTube work to do.
So now you got 3 things to do today.
So, oh no, I'm definitely, that lady told me by no uncertain terms in that email last night.
Hang that fucker up or I'll kill you.
Hang that bird feeder up or send that $200 some bitch back. So it's getting hung today because I ain't sending it back. And she ain't wrong, but.
Hey, if you take a piece of piano wire and hang it up, it's better than not doing it.
It comes with a strap. I mean, it literally.
Yeah,
comes,
I see it's got like a strap thing in the back.
Yeah, it comes with a strap where you can just kind of strap it up.
Strap it to a pole or a tree.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
So just strap it to one of those poles I hit my head on every day. Just one more obstacle.
We had those 2.
Oh, I got hung up on your goddamn squirrel feeder today because the door's open.
Oh, is it?
They grabbed my stinking sweatshirt.
You know what? That means the squirrel went in there and stole something.
Yeah, they grabbed my sweatshirt hood and I'm walking, all of a sudden it's going.
Those squirrels will
What the
steal,
hell was
man.
that?
Those squirrels will steal.
Oh yeah, they're little beggars and thieves.
Yeah.
Gypsies, tramps, and thieves. Who does it?
Stevie Nicks?
Nope, Sonny and Cher.
Oh, was it?
It was just Cher, I think.
Yeah. I knew the song as soon as you said it, but I don't know. My music recollection for that, I don't like female singers. I like Stevie Nicks.
They look good in dresses.
I like women, and I like Kim Carnes, and I like Annie Lennox from the Eurythmics.
Oh,
I just think she's hot,
I
in
know,
a weird
there's
way.
something weird about her. though. Man, is she hot?
She looks like if David Bowie was actually a chick. She would look like, yeah, David Bowie was a weird, freaky guy too.
God, that is such a good analogy.
What?
David Bowie and
If David Bowie was a real chick, then he would look like Annie Lennox and act like her. She dressed like her. I mean,
oh man, that is.
she was straight up. Annie Lennox was cool, man, when she was younger.
Oh yeah, and I like the Eurythmics.
Eurythmics, yeah, I do too. I always like the fun. They were fun. You just all my friends were like digging on Depeche Mode. I call them Depeche Mode. People get mad, man. Don't say that about Depeche Mode.
Don't be dissing on my.
I'm like, come on, dude. And then I would say, you ain't never gonna meet them. Why do you care? Why do you care if I say that the Georgia Bulldogs suck? You ain't never gonna go in there and play football for them. Just shut up.
It's like screaming at the TV during a football. They cannot hear you, honey.
No, I'm telling you.
You yell at that ref all you want. He ain't gonna change his mind because of you.
It's always the ref's fault, no matter what they do. It's either the ref. If your team lost, the ref cheated for their team, and if your team won, then they said
the other team says they cheated.
So I mean, it would suck being a referee, man.
Oh yeah, the most unappreciated job on the field.
It has to be. It's got to be. And you see, sometimes they get run over by them big old giant.
Oh yeah, last week in one of the games, the ref got taken out.
These are some huge ass guys playing football now,
and these refs are like little normal jockey sized guys.
Yeah.
And man, they fly like a goddamn rag doll.
You know what amazes me?
You can see them really good in the background though, because they're red or black and white outfit spins through the sky like a frisbee.
It's a spiral.
I think he's got another 5 yards on him.
Get him a field goal, kick him instead of the ball.
He's here to spot.
What amazed me is I used to in the 80s, in the early 90s, I was really big into basketball because I liked Orlando Magic a lot. I had my Penning Hardaway shirts and I had my Shaquille O'Neal shirts and
Shaq crack.
And where I TDA stationed down there for a couple months, and they liked me working Briggs, dude.
Leverage?
Sure, absolutely. They like me working Briggs. I don't know. I guess it's because of my happy personality and great disposition.
It's the only place they could put you in. You couldn't insult anybody and get demoted.
Hey, look, we're not in a war or anything right now. We got to get Smitty's got to go somewhere. We got to send Smitty over there because this ain't working.
He wants to drink beer all day and talk smack to the prisoners.
No, see, that's just it.
Yeah, you leave them alone, treat them with respect, they'll do the same to you. For the most part.
No.
There's always one asshole that's going to be here.
And I have been known to
crack a knuckle.
Or two. And here's what's so funny about it is you've got one of them that'll say, "Take that badge off, I'll whip your ass." I'm like, yeah, but if I fight you right here, 17 goons are coming in here. We're both getting pepper sprayed, and they're going to be protecting me. So that takes all the fun out of it for me.
Right.
And there's no way that you can, because there's a bunch of them I'd be like, yeah, that sounds great. Let's go in that shower for a few minutes.
Yeah, there are no cameras in there.
I got my high-tech boots on, your flip-flops. I already know how this is going to end. You know what I mean? I'm ready.
Our skid boots, the flip-flops. What do you want to wear?
You're not walking away from this, homeboy. But that was the worst part is they go in there and they tell you, you got to fight these inmates sometimes. And I'm like, woo!
Like, bring on.
Then when you do, when one of them accidentally falls down the stairs, you get fired.
Yeah, or you get reprimanded.
No, you get reprimanded and fired, but you definitely get fired. Well, the first time.
First of all, what was he doing on the stairwell? Well, I had to take him somewhere.
He was trying to get away from the shower because I was already invited his ass to the shower.
I was beating the shit out of him in the shower heading for the stairs.
I can't take too much shit talking, right? You can. And the older I get, my wife used to say, "Oh, you're gonna calm down, baby." When you get older, because she's older than me, she's like, "Oh no, oh you'll be much calmer in 5 years. You just don't worry about it. Don't worry about it."
That was 10 years.
5 years, yeah. About 5 years later, somebody stole her Camaro, and I'm jumping on the hood, holding onto the hood, throwing a coffee cup at the windshield.
You're not calming down.
She's like, "This ain't working. What the hell did I marry? I was married to the spawn of Satan." But we went to a church meeting, and I knew everybody in the church except for like 10 people.
They were inmates, friends.
No, it's a good church. The Little White Church in the Glades. And this big old rich-looking, tall redneck, he comes over and he reaches over Toni and he introduces himself. He goes, "Hi, I'm Jim." And I'm like, "All right." And he's shaking. This Easter Sunday outside services. And there's some real small church. It's called the Little White Church in the Glades. It's really small church.
For a reason, it's called Little.
And I looked at him and I said, "All right, Jim, I'm Ron." He goes, "So what do you do for a living?" I said, "You see this lady sitting next to me?" I said, "This is my wife. You introduce yourself to the woman first, dude."
Yeah, be polite.
If you don't ignore her, you reach over her to come talk to me. You know her, dude? And boy, Tony's like, "You tell me, Ron." At first, she kind of tapped my leg. "Calm down, baby. Calm down."
She was close to saying, "Get in the house."
She wasn't. Well, actually, I think she was close. She was close to saying, "Whip his ass, honey." You can't disrespect my wife, man. If she deserves it, and sometimes she does, but if she deserves it, she deserves it.
But he retracted. Oh.
No, she knows it, but she almost got us killed. She followed this young black girl in Clewiston Walmart. I'm telling you, to hear her tell the story 30 minutes. And I said, "Hey, look, everybody that works at Walmart in Clewiston is a felon. They keep them there, so they keep them on probation. You can't go messing with them people."
That's work release.
Yeah, you can't go messing with them people. And, I mean, I said, "Look, you've got these real pretty girls. There's this black girl that worked at the, what do you call that? Where the plants are. The plant section, the garden shop.
Gardening section, yeah.
She was just as pretty as she could be. Had big old tattoos all on her face and shit. And I'm like, I don't want to say, "You're so cute," until all that shit, But I'm like, what's that mean? Who are you trying to impress with that shit?
Turned into a billboard.
Right. I'm like, come on. I don't.
My wife has a young daughter that's really pretty. She's kind of a mess of a kid, but
Yeah.
she's an adult now. But she was like beautiful, beautiful girl. She could have been easily a model or done something by using her looks.
Sorry.
By using her look, she could have gone far. Well, what does she do? She goes out and gets herself covered in tats up and down her legs, across her back, on her shoulders, down her arms, and her face.
I'm going to be unique. I'm going to get a tattoo just like everybody else did.
Yeah.
I made it my entire life, all in the military and everything, with one little tattoo, and that's that one that's in one of my palms. And he said, "It don't hurt, see?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it does."
That's it. You got one dot.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's there. It is. It's still there. But he hit me. He goes, "It won't hurt." Bam! I said, "Get the fuck away! I'm gonna kill her ass." That's like saying, "Oh no, this." And I'm so stupid. My sister would say, "Stick your tongue to this battery. Watch her do it." Hers was dead. And I said, "Oh, okay."
Little 9-volt.
Yep. And I'd stick my tongue. That boy, that shit would hurt so much.
I'll tingle your ass.
Oh, okay. And I'm little, you know. And boys weren't allowed to cry when I was. Something better be cut off. You know what I mean? You better be
tough enough.
You better be burned or something.
I'll give you something to cry about.
Yeah. So then she would say, "No, you did it wrong. You got to touch it square. You got to put it way far in the back and do it. Then it won't stink." My dumb ass in the back there. I'm trying.
Electric therapy from 6.
I'm getting electroshock therapy at 3 years old from my sister going, watch this, Jimmy.
And we wonder why you are the way you are.
Let's see.
Give me your sister's phone number. I need to talk to that girl. But what did you do to him?
This might surprise you. We don't get along.
There's a shock. The list is so long.
I built it. She used to pick on me for being the fat little kid. And I wasn't even fat. I was just big. I was just a big kid.
Like Kirk, big bone.
Yeah. No, yeah, that was a big kid. I mean, I was bigger than all my cousins. I don't mean fat. I was just big.
Like a little folk boy.
I was like a little bulldog. And she would say, "Porky, porky pig, porky pig, porky pig, porky pig." And I was on that hayride, and I said, "Shut up, pimple face." She whipped my ass on that pimple ride. She said, "You have just embarrassed me." Bam, 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 bam. And I'm like, "Bitch, they can see the pimples." I'm like 13. I'm like, bitch, they can see the pimples. Wow. Her boyfriend's his daddy owns the dairy up in Ocala at the high school.
And he's laughing.
Right now. Laughing. It's Skip Van Wagner. He's laughing. He's going, "Stop, bro. Shut up. I'm like,
be quiet. She'll let go.
He's like, "All you got to do is shut up. She'll leave you alone." And I couldn't shut up.
No, you got to
shut up. And I was like, "Let's talk about your fat ass." And I did everything to call her a whore. It was just so funny. So then I got my ass beat when I went home because I sold to my sister. And the whole time Skip's like, "No, I wasn't. It was funny." They didn't last long. They didn't date very long after that. Because I guess he was supposed to. She's like, "No, that hurt my feelings." He's like, "That shit was funny. Shit, I hurt me." Because he didn't fight with his mom probably.
And you think you're getting laid?
His mom probably wasn't a pillhead. See, my mom was a pillhead. She'd be out there in the back going, "Okay, here we go. I want you to get in that corner. You to get in that corner.
Come out fighting. The rag hits the floor."
It's like, she's on the phone with my aunt, my cousin. I said, "Mama Wade's coming up here with my ass." She's on the phone with Wade's mom. And she goes, "Hold on, honey." She gets me the metal pop holder for the plant, takes the plant out, sits it on the table, says, "Go hit him with that. He'll leave you alone." She gets back on the phone. She said, "Wade will be home in a few minutes. He's going to be upset." That's growing up in the 70s, bro. It was different. It was different.
Yeah, lawn darts were not dangerous.
We had.
Oh yeah.
We literally, and I remember this.
I moved into the house on Temptation, just down the street.
Yeah.
There for like 2 years. The old guy that had owned it since dirt was new. I think he was there when they broke ground. And he had left to settle lawn darts in there, still in the box and everything.
Those things were awesome.
I put them right out in the lawn, started throwing them. Hit the side of the neighbor's truck, and put them in the garbage so I didn't get caught.
Oh man, that would have broke my heart. Not hitting his truck, having to throw them away.
They probably is collectibles to be worth something because there's still original box, everything.
Probably.
Still the orange plastic hoop.
My dad bought me a Crossman pump, and it was, one of those in the 70s. If you could pump it up 100 times, it was a shot.
Right.
It was just.
It was on that $10.
No,
until you couldn't pump it.
It had the little stock. It wasn't one of the new ones.
Right.
My uncle Jim was a Marine. 30 years. It takes a lot to do over 10 years as a Marine. I know because I did 24, but he did 30 straight. All active duty enlisted. He was a cook, but he cooked on the front lines. It was he The cooks are not pussies like people make out like they are.
They fight just like everybody
Yeah,
else.
they do, and worse, and they got knives.
And they can take you out with a frying pan.
And they know how to quarter you and put you up. But anyway, so he cracks that thing about 30 times, and he shoots my dad in the ass with a pellet out there. What are you talking about? And I didn't realize what he did. He just shot, and he handed me a gun. My dad walked over to me, boy, he snatched me up, and Mama said, okay, wait a minute now, that was me. Because my dad was a big dude.
You're about to meet your maker.
my dad's like, because I'm holding the gun out. I'm like, what? And I was like, nothing.
So why you hand me this?
Yeah,
oh, here comes Dad.
You know, I'm like, I don't know what Dad's doing. Get your credit. He grabbed me. And Mom just said, okay, stop now. All fun and games. That was me that shot you.
You're a foot and a half off the ground by the time you let go.
My dad said, you go over here to that clothesline. And Dad pumped it up. Shut it. Oh, you're crying about that? Well, with them had that thing pumped, man. I mean, there was veins popping out in his arm. But Dad's like, Dad doesn't shoot BB guns. He don't know. He just said pop, pop, pop 5 times and shot it. The pellet hardly even made it. You know, the pellet was like this.
You could watch it.
So Uncle Jim goes, you crying about that? Yeah. Because them two men would fight. Like, they would fight. And
knock down, drag them out.
Yeah, they would fight. They would fight. Like kids, you know, then wake up. And neither one of them drunk. Neither one of them. But one of them would say something, you know.
The other guy get
both of them Marines, man, so they don't got no fucking sense.
They pop each other a couple times, sit down, have a soda or a coffee.
Yeah, like, it would start out something like, well, I went to a training that you didn't go to. And my dad would be like, oh, you think so?
I'm tough for you.
And my dad said, well, I was in before you. I was in the real Marines. You went into that sissy Marines.
Oh, yeah.
And he was like, well, I was only in there 3 years after you. Yeah, that's when they started letting the pussies in. So then all of a sudden, Mama's like, everybody get away from the table.
Yeah.
This is clean there. Get the glass because this is fixing it. It's going to end up outside. But I don't know who's throwing who out, but let's just get
breakables off the table.
And we had, it was, I don't want to, it wasn't an unloving family. It was just a fun family. You know, we weren't even poor white trash, dude. We acted like it. But you know, if somebody would have come over, everything would have been fine. Everybody would have dusted themselves off, and they'd been perfect. And everybody been fine and proper. They left, went back on again.
They got on the back porch.
They would fight and
busted handrails, chairs.
And again, there's my mama going. You know, my mama would say, "One of y'all is glad, and the other's scared of it." That's the problem. One of y'all is glad, or one of you is scared, the other's glad of it. I don't know which is which. Which one of you is the biggest coward? Oh, God.
I'd get them fired up.
She was no joke. My mama was, man, she was nuts.
You could instigate a battle in no time flat.
She could. Well, I'm going to play this lady one more time, and then we're going to be out here. Because we have run it late again.
8:35 in the big city.
Here you go. Y'all have a great morning, and we've got work to do. At least I do.
Peace out.
Peace out.
Is a holistic professional counselor and consultant since 1994. And she's been exactly where you are now. Until age 39, she struggled to find her purpose and to know her self-worth. She suffered from a condition called trichotillomania, or hair pulling. But when she volunteered with Trichotillomania Learning Center Foundation for Body-Focused Repetitive Behaviors and International OCD Foundation, she discovered the innovative tools to stop pulling her hair and to change her life. If you're feeling lost, alone, and maybe helpless, Joan remember that place. And she knows there is a pathway to healing the pain. It's time to end the cycle of stress, anxiety, hopelessness, grief, or trauma. Even if you've told yourself it's impossible, contact Joan today. Her link and information for contacting her is in the show description.